5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
From Studio One on the campus.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. I am Tank Spencer, and I am just a little fraction of the Tank Spencer that left here. I'm going to need you to put that in program. I am just a fraction of the Tank Spencer that left here because, yes, Valentine's Day, it was my bloody Valentine. I put a rod through my foot, and I've been in the hospital for the last 8 days, but had to trudge back in here. And, I hate that I couldn't make the trip to Indianapolis, Indiana, but we have the backup crew in. David Smith from Armchair Commentary and the Mullet, Jeremy Green, joining us from Indianapolis, Indiana. Boys, it's great to be back in saddle.
Tank, your bedroom is made up. So, I mean, if you could get to Indianapolis, maybe hop on a flight, you got a bedroom just waiting on you. We could give you concessions. Now, you would have to climb some stairs, which is going to be less than awesome with your camping wheel. But we are live here at 2025 NFL Scouting Combine. This is such a wild week. All right, so I want to give 2 caveats before anything else. To balance radio and YouTube has been, we'll call it a Fabergé egg of just making sure that radio can hear us correctly and YouTube can hear us correctly. And we don't mess things up for all the things that we're doing while we're here. So if the audio is a little choppy on YouTube, we apologize. It's to have 3 of us here. We're not used to that. It's usually just me and Tank. So bringing in a third is a little different.
I'm causing problems. I am nothing but a Canadian problem for everyone involved.
Hey, I mean, look, you're giving me the 51st state, so we're here to unite us, not divide. I've made that joke no less than 20 days. Less 3 days.
Can't help himself, Tank. He can't help himself.
He can't. David's going to hope that you choke on your poutine.
One of the things is that we've been taking Dave down the fast food across America for all fast food entities that they don't have in Canada.
Nice.
So we had Jack in the Box last night, which is one of my favorite American delicacies. Dave has never had Chick-fil-A.
Never.
That is insane. But
so we're going to rectify that this trip.
So I do have to ask. So Canadians don't believe in Jesus? Is that what we're saying here? Because that's God's chicken, and y'all need to get right with the Lord, because you're missing out.
We believe in God's poutine. It's different. It's different person.
We put pickles on chicken, they put gravy on French fries. You know what? Uniter, not a divider. We're one nation under Donald, with liberty and for justice for all.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, but the smoked meat poutine is literally the best thing ever.
I've never had poutine. I don't like gravy. It's hard for me to think I'm going to love poutine when I don't love gravy.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
I mean,
There's no way.
how can you not love? You are a fat Southern man. How can you not love gravy? You have a beard. It's if you have facial hair, you have to like gravy. It's a law.
Yeah, but poutine's like brown gravy and just I don't like brown gravy.
You just haven't had the plate brown
as
gravy.
someone who has had poutine in my life, there are a few finer international delicacies than poutine. I'm gonna tell you, man.
Well, I mean, we had to have the road staple on night one. You know, he flew into the Indianapolis airport. I was already here because I had driven the Parks Ford Motor Studio up here, and I got here I was here throughout the day, and I looked at Uber Eats, and one of the things that got here the quickest was Little Caesars, and it had a nice little discount on it. So of course we had to meet Caesar.
We had Little Caesars for breakfast the next morning too.
We did. And then we went and interviewed all the coaches. Yeah, yesterday was a weird day. Aaron Glenn is, as a Jets fan, you are an angry man. And
for Jeremy to say you're combative, Jeremy looked at me after Aaron Glenn's interview and goes, I might be out of pocket here, but that felt awfully combative.
I believe what I said was it was unnecessarily combative.
Yeah, absolutely. Just after everyone, didn't matter the question there. How do you feel about Tyrod? He was mad about that. How do you feel about Aaron? Oh, the Aaron Rodgers question, nonstop.
Oh, that was. You talk about painful. You had a bunch of people that I know because we're all Jets media.
Yeah.
So we're all looking at each other going, "Hey, how many Aaron Rodgers questions do you have?" Because I have 9. I have 10 questions total. So how quick do you think Mooj and Aaron Glenn get tired of this?
Mooj was late getting on yesterday, and we have a feeling that is because didn't want to address the Aaron Rodgers situation, but immediately had to come to play and talk about Aaron Rodgers right off the top. Say, I'm not going to talk Aaron Rodgers, but this is what's up. Aaron Rodgers is going to be gone. We've decided to move on. We're in lockstep. AG and myself, we both agree with this. And then AG came out, and he was a man with a bat. He was swinging.
He's angry. He's really look. Aaron Glenn's not that tall of a guy, and so you got all these Jet media members, and he comes out and he's already mad that the Aaron Rodgers questions have been asked, and it just got worse and worse and worse. Like, I'm afraid Aaron Glenn's going to punch you in the face.
You gotta walk that back. Aaron Glenn was
careful.
mad.
I mean, that's how that's how a coach, that's how a new coach gets on that list to lose your job shortly. I feel like that's what happened with Gerard Mayo in New England, David. I just feel like he was in the show up there, but he wasn't like he didn't have that like executive presence. And so if it starts getting to Aaron Glenn this early, that makes me concerned.
Well, it's not so much that it got to him. It was the first 7 questions. So Muji and AG came out together, and they stood off the podium waiting to be announced. And Muji goes up. He was about 5 minutes late, and he got there. He literally his fait accompli to start was, "I know you're going to ask these questions. Just know I'm not going to answer them. This is what it is. We moved on from Aaron Rodgers. The Rams talk is out there. It's all fine, but just don't ask. We moved on. We want to talk about the players who are in the building," and then every question was Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor and Jackson Dart and every quarterback known to man, and it did get awkward.
It got a little awkward, and there was definitely some. It felt like Aaron Glenn felt like his players in the building were being disrespected because of the questions. He was like, "We're gonna, all I want to know is we want to keep young, talented players on the New York Jets." That was the repeated line.
Oh God, he said that 7 or 8 times.
Every
question, the answer was, "We just want to find good young players that want to compete and top guys for the New York Jets." And I'm not gonna lie, the more he said it, the more I was like, it's like your approval rating in my head is going down 1/10 of a point every time you say that.
It was the complete opposite of Raheem Morris.
Yeah, Dave Dave got to see the beauty that is Raheem Morris at a podium.
Okay.
I mean, you and I thought last year, if Raheem Morris, if coaching football doesn't work, he has a tremendous future of leading a cult because I'm pretty sure he could get me to do some really stupid things.
He's gotten you to drink the Kool-Aid, huh?
Well, he's just so damn likable. And he comes up to the podium and he calls every reporter by name and he knows everybody. And he even locked eyes with me and did the little head nod, like just acknowledging me that I'm there and I recognize your face and we're committed to Michael Penix and we feel good about what we've got and year one didn't go exactly how we wanted it to. But it was so weird that they were so close to each other in the order because Aaron Glenn was so combative and Raheem Morris was, I know you're going to ask it and I'm just going to smile. And he literally has a smile that's right out of a Crest commercial. That dude could sell a lot of toothpaste.
A lot.
A lot. Because his smile is just, it's intoxicating. And you just look at it and go, I understand how teams fall in love with you when they interviewed you to be their head coach because you're so engaging. And I believe every word that you're saying.
Raheem had
He's
us.
always had that presence to me.
He did. Tank, he was honestly, you walk in there and he smiled and he looked at everybody and he was like, I know you're going to ask about, I know you're going to ask about tight ends. I know you're going to ask, like, what are we going to do with Kyle Pitts? And he's like, we're going to work on Kyle Pitts. And how is Bijan? Bijan's phenomenal. And we're committed to Michael Penix. He's our quarterback. And it was such a nothing burger in terms of information and new information, which is to be expected. But boy,
That's kind of the brilliance of a great of not a I won't say a great coach, but a guy who has that thing that New England didn't see in Gerard. Right? You still have to be able to give the cookie cutter answer, but make the media believe it. Make the media believe there's something behind that. When you get that guy who gets up there, and I'm trying to think, Shane Steichen's done that a lot. Like there's very few guys that hit that level. Dave Canales is one of those that he will say nothing in 5.5 minute answer, but you're still like, you know what? I get it. I know exactly what you mean. Like,
I like to call that Barack Obama.
yes,
Man, what you just said sounds so awesome, but you didn't actually answer the question that I asked you.
Nobody made him believe like Barack.
And there's a merit to that. One of the cool things
you got to sell yourself.
Well, one of the cool things for this trip for me is that now I've been here a few times, so I know exactly where to go. I know where everything is. I'm very comfortable, and I've got Dave with me that's looking at all of this with new eyes, and it's a different dynamic. I'm really looking forward to it tomorrow. This is really the most laid back day that we have because we had interviews this morning. We're going to be pumping out a ton of content over the course of tonight, and then the workouts start tomorrow. And I think it's going to be really interesting being in the room to see the discrepancy between what Tank sees from Asheville through the media broadcast, which we cannot see, what I see as the scouting eye,
yeah,
and then what Dave sees from the analyst eye. I love this event so much because there's so many layers to it. And being here on site it's just different. And you get to see those things, like what you said with Canales, what we said about Raheem Morris. And then you got everybody's grandpa, Andy Reid, who comes out in his Hawaiian shirt, and you just go, Grandpa, give me a butterscotch candy and stop telling me about the war, okay? I've heard this story 96 times.
Oh, wait, has that worn off for you?
No, I still love it.
I can't be in the same room now that I've been in the same room with Andy Reid a couple of times. Like, I can't see the guy without immediately just wanting to, like, squeeze his cheeks and call him grandpa. And
anybody that says they don't like Andy Reid,
you don't have a soul.
No. Look, he came up to me yesterday. He saw me off the podium, and he kind of acknowledged me, and he knows my name, and he knows where I'm from. And he walked off the podium, and he shakes everybody's hand, and he's so everybody's grandpa, and he's such a likable guy.
And the fact that man is torturing every other coach, player, and general manager in the NFL is
Oh,
hilarious.
except Nick Sirianni. He's not torturing
Well,
him.
I mean,
And,
look, sometimes, sometimes you fail and can't win every Super Bowl.
well, Tank, if you think he was unlikable in the 2024 NFL scouting combine, you should have
Oh
seen
yeah.
25.
Oh yeah, because he brought him in a wheelbarrow, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he Randy Marched it like, hey, all you little schmucks that were talking about how I'm not a good coach and I should be fired. How you like me now?
Yeah.
Cut out.
Who's a moron now?
I didn't hear
Well,
no bell.
sir, you're still a successful moron, but you're a moron.
Hey, look, if America's proven anything, you can get to the highest office of the land being a successful moron.
You can fail upwards,
For sure.
and he failed up like a champ.
I'm gonna ring the bell for every time that's happened in American history.
If you don't get to 47, you did it wrong.
He failed upwards. That is a man who failed upwards and won a championship in spite of everything going against him.
Yes, indeed, he did.
Really impressed with Mike Vrabel yesterday. You can tell the culture shift is coming in New England.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means for the rest of the AFC East. Buffalo still owns that division. Miami, we saw McDaniel in his. He is every single time I see him, he is further and further into the like Miami Vice.
Yeah, Tank, he gave me an envelope with your name on it. It looks like it came from a lawyer's office. I'll bring it back to Nashville with me. I'm afraid it's either a subpoena or a restraining order.
It's it was a good time though. Vrabel is he's bringing the I think he's bringing the thunder, and you're going to see some. You'll see some content later on. We talk about like guys that look like they're Vrabel guys coming in, and he is hammering the culture bit, the kind of thing that you would have heard during the Belichick era, where it's like, well, we got to win at home. We want guys that play hard. It's not, this is going to be a very quick turnaround from the Gerard Mayo era, where Gerard said everything that came out of his mouth, everything that came to his head came out of his mouth, like every single thing. That's not going to be this guy. It's not going to be Vrabel. People that forgot, they'll remember fast.
Gang,
They'll remember real quick.
last year by far, coaches GM day at the NFL Combine was my absolute favorite day. To be able to be in the same room and look into the eyes of the guy who's trying to sell you his brilliance is one of the most incredible things. And I'm so jealous that you guys are there, that I'm here dealing with the dumbassery that that I did to my foot.
Zach, look,
But
the good thing about that is that 1 year from now, I have figured out the way to do all of these things. So next year, and for the 2025 NFL Draft, I just say we saddle it all together and we bring the whole gang, and we just go like roving four-man band.
We just roll
I'm
up with
all
an
in.
entourage.
I am all about it. I'm also all about resting this foot. So I am going to leave it in your gentlemen's capable hands, because there's nothing that I can say that's going to add to the experience that these guys have had at the combine so far today on the Ingles Living the Dream tour. They've got so much more coming your way. I'm going to get out of here and go ice up and rest up the foot, and leave y'all with Jeremy Green and David Smith of Armchair Commentary here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll be right back.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixers.
Sorry, you're clear.
Place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. So you
I'm right here.
right away. Try
I'm right here.
ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention?
Oh, shit.
You sleep at night.
What do you mean you cut out twice? I didn't notice.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear y'all drop off at all.
You wouldn't hear
Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Right.
They're always asking about
Damn it.
treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any.
Right.
First question, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints?
Okay.
In day-to-day movement. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
We're back in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. All right, so I still have to babysit y'all while I'm laid up.
Well, here's the thing, Tank. We had to get it. We had to set it up to where we could hear you, and it requires some work to undo that. And we're not necessarily equipped. Look, if you want to know how hard it is, and I am not throwing smoke at all. If you want to know how hard it is to do this, mobile. I'm not going to out the entity. I'm just going to say there was a YouTube video that went out yesterday from day one of the combine, and they have a whole team that tries to assemble their audio. Yikes. Yeah, I felt so bad for them because I know exactly what's happening, and there's absolutely no one to fix it.
Nope.
And I know they had a big truck outside where the location that they were filming from. And I looked at Dave and I went, oh no, I'm friends with these guys and I feel so bad because, well, that's one of those. Amazon can get there quick. They can't get there that quick.
It wasn't pretty. But, this is what happens. You got guys trying to record. I mean, we're at Airbnb. It's not optimized for audio. Unfortunately, they did not build this Airbnb with a recording studio.
Yeah, they don't have a recording studio in the back bedroom. Like, what are you even doing with your life, Jerry?
Nah, y'all sound fine. I'll be here as the safety net if it cuts out.
We appreciate that.
Indeed. Yeah, we're on wireless devices. We have to be able to hear everybody back at Mission Control back there in Asheville. We also have to be able to hear each other, and you have to be able to hear us. So it's just, I was reading through some comments of videos that I saw yesterday, and I'm like, you people have absolutely no idea how hard what those sound engineers are trying to do actually is. And it's really easy to throw rocks. My only thought would be, hey, you try to set this up.
Anybody that's ever tried to do any sort of content creation, whether it's making a podcast, doing radio, if you've ever gone live, if you've ever streamed anything, you know that audio is a fickle mistress, and it is difficult to hammer down. And if you are not someone with audio experience, it's really easy to go, you sound like you're talking into 11 cans of Monster. What's happening there?
Well, I'm also biased because I'm not blowing smoke just because you can hear me. I've got one of the best in the business that has handled all of these things for me. Tank and I have a sweet division of labor, which is Jeremy does video, Tank does audio. And then Jeremy gets sent up here by himself and he gets a steady cold of diarrhea that he sits in, and he gets the angina and he goes, man, I should have paid attention in that day of class because that'd be awesome.
Audio class is an important class.
For sure. We're getting a lot of questions in the YouTube about interviews with specific players. We bought some new toys since we've been up here, so we're gonna have a lot of content with players that'll start going out tomorrow. We've got team needs going out on the YouTube channel today. Every team should be out by, I'll say by the end of the day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I originally said we'd get them all out today, and that might have been aggressive. Maybe I bit off more than I could chew, but we're putting out as much content as we can here from the combine. DNA Tooth podcast said he needed a James Pearce and Mike Green interview. I can follow up on that a little bit. I haven't gotten the definitive that I'm looking for yet. I'm hoping that I get that when we go through the workouts tomorrow. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there have been quote unquote character red flags with James Pearce and Mike Green. I dug into this yesterday with people that I trust and people that I know and just trying to figure it out. The best I can figure out, I was exactly right on James Pearce. He was an immature kid. He did some things that you would expect a 20-year-old kid to do, and now it's coming back to bite him when you've dug into it. I also think with James Pearce, it's a lot of prospect fatigue that we had him in the top 5 coming into this year, and there wasn't necessarily the out-of-this-world production. And now you have the character red flag, and it's easy to just say, oh, I'm just going to push him down the board. Let me make this as perfectly clear as I can. If the 30 NFL teams that were not good enough to get to the Super Bowl this year let James Pearce fall to 31 or 32, the 2 teams that were good enough to get there are going to happily go, well, thank you for doing that. And now we're going to continue to mush your face with this kid that you let fall to us.
It's not super shocking to hear that a 20-year-old was immature. And I think that we forget that something. They're like, it's a character red flag. No, he was a kid. He's a young kid who was growing up, and now he's grown up. And we got to believe that maybe some of those things are in the past. And I'm curious to see where it all lands. It would be a gift from the draft missed gods for Philadelphia or Kansas City to get either one of these guys.
I guarantee you he won't fall past them.
No, he won't.
They will not look at him and go, well, the character for us is the problem. No, that's fine. We're good. We'll take him. Now, Mike Green is a little bit different because the things he's being accused of are significantly worse.
Yes.
The problem that I have is, okay, why are the only people talking about this with any form of information are Reddit users and nameless, faceless Twitters
yes.
and things like that? If we learned anything yesterday with the news of Rob Gronkowski is going to come back to play for the Denver Broncos, which I was standing beside Ian Rappaport as he went and crushed your soul because that's stupid. It's not happening. So be really careful what you trust. The only thing I'll say about Mike Green, and Detroit fan man asked what he's being accused of. I'm not going to say that out loud.
Pickney's got it.
Andres Pinkney got me in the comments. He's accused of a thing that, if it's true, he will be off the board for a lot of people.
Yeah.
The problem that we're all having, why can we not find anybody that corroborates this? We have no victim. We have no witness. We have no nothing. There's no news report. There's no police blotter. There's no call that went out. There's no anything. And nobody can find it. And that's the thing that, I'm not going to say it didn't happen. I don't know. It's just, there's no evidence.
You need to do 2 things when you get information, especially around this time of year, especially around the off season. Who wants to hear the information and why, and where did it come from? And there's no real source point for this information right now. And until you get corroboration, you can't rule out the possibility of taking someone.
Well, the thing with Mike Green is that what we got yesterday, because I went around and talked to my sources that were in, and that was, and I said this leading into the week, that was one of the things that I really wanted to know. the defensive lineman interview today. And so I tried to get out in front of that yesterday. I tried to stay a day ahead of the position. And I got the same response every time I asked people that I trust about Mike Green. And they just kind of shrugged their shoulders and went, I don't know.
No,
I don't know. We have nothing. We have a report that came out from Reddit from an account that seems to be rather new, and we can't trace it. And then you talk to the people at Virginia. Nobody at Virginia wants to tell you anything. That's not been corroborated by one coach that was on that roster. And after Matt Rice, Matt Rice's career got completely derailed for a year from a false allegation.
It's not that we're saying that it's not true. It's just saying we don't know.
We don't know. I've got nobody that's saying to me, it's the detriment of Twitter and it's the detriment of Reddit.
100%.
It can be a great positive of people commit crimes. We get out in front of it because somebody that is brave enough to say it does it behind a faceless, nameless Reddit. That is the positive. Now here's the negative. You could have a guy that had an issue with Mike Green who's posting these things all completely anonymously. We believe it, and then you completely derailed the kid's career. It is the fulcrum that you have to manage as you're going down this experience. Where I am a little different from a lot of other entities, they will ignore it when people are asking it. If you look at the comment sections of all these videos, people are asking these questions. Everybody else just ignores it. I know you're asking it. I'm trying to get an answer. I'm just not in any way comfortable with the answers that I'm getting. And so for me, I'm pushing Mike Green down a little bit. But then I keep talking to smart people that talk to me about him with Carolina at 8. They talk to me about him with San Francisco at 11. And that tells me that at the very least, you're comfortable with what you've heard. And so I'm not saying it makes me more comfortable. It just makes me I'm just bypassing it. I'm going to put him where I think he belongs. If something credible comes out, then I'll deal with it when it gets there. James Pearce, I'll go ahead and tell you, I will 100% stick to I'm not dropping James Pearce, not one spot based on a character red flag. No, Mike Green is more of
it's a more serious allegation. It's a more serious allegation.
Well, I mean, even with Pearce, depending on how far down the rabbit hole you go, there are some more serious allegations with him. I'm very comfortable in saying that I don't think there is anything there with James Pearce. I'm not comfortable saying that with Mike Green.
It is 100% free to say stuff. You can say whatever you want in this day and age, and people will absolutely take advantage of that. People will go out of their way to say whatever they want about whoever they want. And we saw yesterday in a lighthearted way with Gronkowski.
And I'll give you the backstory of that. If you don't know what we're talking about, a radio guy, Cecil something, put out a report that Rob Gronkowski was interested in coming back. He was going to unretire. He was going to come back to the NFL. And one of the teams that he would be interested in playing for was the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
It took less than 60 minutes for the people in that room. Ian Rappaport was the one that completely shut him down.
Yes.
To go, there is literally no truth to this.
From legitimate sources, not happening. I think his exact words were, nope, not true.
And by the way, that makes for a real uncomfortable Tuesday because the guy that reported this has a booth on Radio Row that's right at the corner, so we all have to pass it. As we're going in and out of the convention center, we all have to pass it. And just nobody's really looking at it. Like I don't yesterday was less than good for you.
It's a little awkward. It's a little uncomfortable to walk by.
It's not good. But to answer the question, I knew that was a question that I was going to get a lot, especially today. I am comfortable on James Pearce. I am leaving him where I have him on the big board. He is a top 10 prospect for me. He will remain a top 10 prospect for me unless something new comes out that I don't currently know. I don't like the chances of that, but I will leave open the possibility. Mike Green, I'm not as comfortable. If I was a fact checker, I couldn't say, no, that's not true. I just would have to say we're missing some context, and I don't know enough to say yay or nay. And I don't know that I'm going to get that answer today or even this week. I'm going to try, I tried yesterday, and I'll say I'm 5% closer to an answer than I was Friday last week before I set foot in the city of Indianapolis.
It'll be interesting to see for sure. Another couple of questions that we had in there. Jihad Campbell moving to edge. There are a lot of players that I think we've looked at this week that have the potential to play different positions than they're currently listed at, both on the defensive and offensive side of the ball, line and tackle included.
Jihad Campbell, I know where you're headed with that. So Jihad Campbell is a really good example of something that happens this week around the combine. It basically starts at Shrine and at Senior, and then carries to the Super Bowl because all of us are there together. And then we reconvene here after we've gone back and watched the tape. Jihad Campbell's a really good example of that. I want to put a pin in that. We got to take a commercial break. And we'll dig into that deeper with what you're talking about as well. He's David Smith of Armchair Commentary. I'm Jeremy Green. We're back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio 92.9, 880 and 1400. It's brought to you by Ingles Markets with the 2025 Living the Dream Tour live here from Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll get into moving players and players evaluations and things like that after this commercial break.
This is your Clear Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking great now as we get into our Wednesday afternoon. Shower chance Thursday with sunshine and slightly cooler weather expected Friday. Most of us right near 70 degrees this afternoon and plenty of sunshine. Tonight, we'll start to see a few clouds trickle in later, 45, and a few showers around late morning into the afternoon tomorrow. A little bit of a breeze coming in, 62 degrees. Behind that front, as I mentioned, slightly cooler Friday, sunny, high 55. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stinson.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? Whether you're a local shop or global enterprise, Bank of America gives you access to
He's shaking his head up and down.
matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
The new iHeart app.
What do I like about it? Real easy to use. I like that.
Love my presets.
If you're not using it, you're missing out.
Go get it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy.
You guys want outside news in this one, or you want me to take it out?
Stuff happened.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Ain't no truth
the Sportsocracy.
Just living the dream.
3, 2.
We're back here from Indianapolis, the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine. I am at ESPN Draft Nerd Jeremy Green, and I'm joined a uniter, not a divider. We are bringing the nations together. Our resident Canadian, David Smith of Armchair Commentary and Great North Sports. We finally convened. After many years of knowing each other, we're finally in the same room. We're under the same roof, and we're chopping it up here at the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine. Dave, it is great to finally have you live on the ESPN radio show. For all the people that listen on radio that have heard all these things about you, but have never heard you.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I mean, we did a Sunday show on YouTube only for a while. We connected. We did a bunch of podcast stuff, but never had the opportunity to get on the radio show. And I'm happy to be here. Happy to be able to do this in Tank's stead. Wish he was able to be here. Glad he's on the mend, but couldn't pass up the opportunity to actually get down. And it's been frankly seamless.
Oh, for sure. David and I, it's been like, two brothers in arms that have known each other their whole lives. We're also brothers in fast food. That we don't have a lot of objections as long as it involves us eating food. So that goes quite seamlessly. Something that's not going so seamlessly. The linebacker class in this draft is BA double D bad. We had a question in the YouTube chat. I believe it was from Chiefs Nation UK that asked, why are teams saying Jahad Campbell is moving to edge? I thought he was a linebacker. So he is. He is a linebacker, but the problem that I've had with Jahad Campbell, anybody that's watched our draft content knows that I've had him markedly lower than the rest of the industry. The reason is because I don't think he's a very good off-ball linebacker. If that's the position you're going to play, that's fine. You should just be good at it. But then, when I was at the Senior Bowl, I had a few scouts that I know, and I follow their work, they follow mine, and we just chalked it up over the workouts. And somebody pointed out to me, what if Jahad Campbell was moved to edge full time? How would that change your evaluation of what you see out of Jahad Campbell? And it got my little brain percolating. And I realized that the only difference between Jalon Walker and Jahad Campbell at that point would be what you think of them physically. And I like Jahad Campbell better.
The free agent class for linebackers, not great. The draft class for linebackers, not great. This draft for edges, phenomenal. And I'm really curious to see where he ends up landing. When you there's a lot of guys that we've looked at in this draft class, including Jahad Campbell, where you're not playing the position that you maybe, or you're not going to be playing the position that maybe you're coming in and being marked as. We have a lot of guys that are marked as guards that aren't necessarily going to be guards. We have tackles that aren't going to be tackles. There are edge guys that probably could be linebackers and vice versa. So I think you're going to see a lot of flexibility. We've had some corners that might be better at safety. We've had some safeties that, well, probably not safety class, but we've had a lot of secondary positions. Like, I don't know if it's going to be one kind of wide open guys in the slot.
That are really just
big wide receivers.
I think next year when we do the evaluations on tight end, I'm going to have tight ends and big receivers masquerading as tight ends.
It's the BR rank, not the WR.
Yeah, you're a BDD. You can't block, but you do line up at tight end. Oronde Gaston's the funniest one. The further I dive, I'll change the tense in which I say it. The further I dive into the tape on Oronde Gaston, the more I realized that he was a receiver. The position didn't change. They just told us he was a tight end, and we all went, okay. Nobody asked any questions. Just, okay, now he's working out with the tight end. And I almost feel bad for every other tight end going, you don't have a chance in this world of beating him in a 40. You don't have a chance in this world of beating him in a short show. I just know you can't be first because Fran Brown told us Rondé Gaston plays tight end.
We just, once again, it is free to say things. And that's what they said. Edge is not necessarily edge. Linebackers and linebacker positions are fluid more so, I think, than we've seen in any other draft.
Well, and that's one of the things of that is that we're in an era in the NFL of positionless football. And where we're at is that you get a guy like Jahad Campbell in a really bad class of linebackers. You're going to have Jalon Walker, and Jahad Campbell as the only, I would say the only two top 75 linebackers in the class.
I would agree with that.
And you have all these teams that need them. Carolina needs a linebacker. But none of us are comfortable enough to say, yes, I'm going to come to a point in the first round where Jahad Campbell is the player that I like the best for my team above all else. And so then you start working into how do I get him into a mock? And he winds up at edge. Do I think I don't think he's better than a top 40 prospect regardless. But I can get to the point where a team would jump on him, especially based on the workouts.
Yeah.
I see how a team could jump on him in the first round if they project his age.
It's easy to fall in love with a guy if you see him at a position. And in this case, he's better. He looks better at edge. He just simply looks.
You also have Dana has a really good point in our YouTube chat. We're in an era of college football of the tweener player. Star and dollar linebackers were all athletes on the edge. You're in an NIL age, and this is the question that was asked. I think of every coach that I got in front of yesterday.
Yes.
There's a guy here. I don't know if he's doing a documentary. I don't know if he's just doing it. If the story he's doing is how NIL is changing the college football and translating into the NFL, I don't know. He asks questions to literally every coach you can get in front of, which was how is the NIL age affecting the players, the prospects, how you treat them, when you think they're going to be able to contribute. And I'm not going to lie, I started letting the question really marinate over me as he was asking. I started thinking about last night. One of the interesting things as I think, because now I'm fully into day 3, my top 100 is, I'm not going to say set in stone, there will be a little bit of movement with workouts, but the top 100 is pretty locked in. I'm now moving guys around in the 101 to 300 range. And what I'm finding is that you've got a lot of guys that have played at 2, 3, or 4 schools. They've been in 2, 3, or 4 systems. They've been asked to do 2, 3, or 4 sets of things. And there's a lot of, well, I really liked him here, but I didn't like him here. And so I'm looking at the 2022 tape because that's close to the system that we play. And there's just a lot of projection to that. Because you got to think, if I'm looking at tape from a guy from 2 years ago, your body has changed, your athletic profile has changed. But I'm going back to you did this 2 years ago, and I like how it projects to me, and so I'm going to use that metric to evaluate now, and basically just completely disregard what you've done in the last 2 years.
It's really hard because there's also a level of maturity, not just physically, but mentally. These guys learn the game better. They learn the system better. They start, and it could be multiple systems that, like we're talking about here. But frankly, they get older. Like the older you get, we have a lot of like 5 and 6 year seniors that are coming.
Terrence Alexander is he's filming a AARP commercial with Mario Lopez that played AC Slater on Saved by the Bell. I think he's going to film an AARP commercial with him. Terrence Alexander, I believe, is like 6 weeks younger than me.
And there's a difference in maturity level there. So you're getting a prospect that maybe is not as raw as you would think. I'm seeing a lot of guys that are older coming in. So we've got the immature side, the guys that are like you would typically expect to see your 21 and 22-year-olds. But we're also getting a lot of 24 and 25-year-olds. And you're looking at those guys and going, all right, so you've had more time to marinate in the world, a little more experience. And that experience, we actually saw that with some of the guys from last year's class when they come in as rookies. Because they have so many snaps.
I can't remember what day this was that the player's alluding to right now. The guy had played 3,400 college.
Yeah.
There's no projection left at 3,400 college snaps. You are exactly what we think you are. Now, where that conversation gets really interesting for me is which do you prefer? So Darius Alexander has become the most polarizing example of this. He's a defensive tackle out of Toledo. I pretty well know what I'm getting with that kid, because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of growth. So is it better for me to get a defensive tackle at the back end of one, somewhere, and for me, somewhere two, maybe even all the way to three? Because I don't like using high-end draft capital on guys that, are the same age as guys that are in free agency right now.
Mm-hmm.
But is it better to get the ready-made prospect that's going to be able to play right away, able to do all of the things that we saw in college, or am I taking the projection? That's one of the things that's so interesting about the draft. And it's really changed in this NIL age because you have guys that are making money. They don't have to take the leap to support themselves. So they stick around in college for longer, but I'm not sure it doesn't burn you.
It's got to burn you a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'll let Darius Alexander go. His first bite of the apple at free agency, if he goes in the first round, he'll be 30 years old.
Yes.
There's a possibility that this is a player the teams are looking at mentally, going, there's virtually no chance we can ever get him a second contract. Which, and that's the beauty of it, is that you would have him on a sheet for his prime years. But then where's the trade? And I get it. The percentage of guys that get to a second contract is low. I struggle to get to a point where I'm ever going to look at that guy and know that that's his ceiling. His ceiling is I'm going to get you a contract. I'm looking at 8 years old. When I can go down the line to TJ Sanders, I think he should legally change his name. I'm going to do that 100 times out of 100.
I'm really curious, and maybe this is something we can get into in a little bit here, is we have shifted the longevity of NFL contracts and NFL players' careers at this point. Andrew Luck was one of the first to do it. We saw Tiki Barber do it. We are seeing Zach Martin do it. We're seeing guys that play 9 years, and they're like, that's it. That's all I need. And win, lose, or draw, that's all I need. They get that second contract, maybe. They make their millions. They can still walk. They're not overly concussed, and they can still, enjoy time with their family. Some of them go into media. Some of them buy car dealerships. Some of them buy restaurants and other things, and they become pillars of their communities. But they play their football careers, and it's much shorter than we have seen. We're not seeing as many Tom Brady, Peyton Manning level of committing to the bit. Brady played forever, and I think there's an expectation of football fans that we can't play anymore. And guys are saying, nah, I'm going to stay in college. I'm going to get my NIL money. I'm going to come out richer than I ever could have. My rookie deal is reasonably good, and I'm going to go and I'm going to invest in it. I'm going to get. It's going to pay off in the end. Long term, I think we're going to see more of this. We're going to see a lot more guys. I think the average career span in the NFL overall is like 4 years. So if it's 4 years, I think you're going to see that number come down a little bit. You're going to see guys that are.
That's a draftable player. Drafted player. Yes. The average career span of a drafted player is 3.7 years. Yeah. The average lifespan of an NFL player who puts on an NFL jersey one time is 2 years.
And I think you might see that number come down. Like you're going to see guys that are 25 coming out of college with their NIL deal. They're going to play their 1 year, and then they're going to go on to be a regional analyst for either college, you'll see, whatever is divisions at that point. I don't know if we're going to have much of the Big Ten anymore. I don't know if that's going to be the thing, but you're going to see they're going to be like, I'm going to be the play-by-play guy for Jacksonville after playing my 1 year. I don't have to get hurt. My knees don't kill me when I'm walking around. I can play with my kid. I can enjoy life, and the college kids don't have to $1 million plus investment in those guys way earlier than you would have. Before you would have had to make a past your rookie contract to get that big payout.
So,
guys.
So what you're telling me is that they're coming for our jobs. They indeed did. Jeremy Green, ESPN Radio Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio Asheville. He is the candidate himself, armchair commentary, director of sports. David Smith, we're live from the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine with the Eagles. Limited range tour brought to you by Eagles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. Parks Court Hendersonville, the lovely Parks Court, those two brands here, and of course, WC.com.
I'm checking out some reviews for Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and
Clear.
Industry and
Sorry, oh, sorry, you weren't clear, but all you said was thank you, so that's good.
Compassionate 2 times in dental
Now you're clear. Yeah, sorry, we were running up on the double here.
was experiencing, followed by prompt restoration. That type of service makes regular checkups and cleaning anxiety-free. No.
Just tell me when I got 60 seconds.
Heard.
You are in the best of hands with your dental care, then head on over to AshevilleSmiles.com.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you?
My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress?
You took our jibs.
Clothes, decor, mood lighting, and so much more. Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time.
Sounds like a dream.
Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of work.
It's 1830-54. Just if if you're curious.
Harbor Freight.
I know you know, Jeremy, but
Places that work just as hard as.
I love a good thinly veiled South Park reference. That's my favorite thing ever.
At Harbor Freight.
Ma'am, I want the Toshiba.
Coverage, exclusions, and limitations may apply.
Here's something no one wants to talk about, but we need to.
Oh, sorry.
Final expenses. Did you know the price of a $1,000 or more, and that in the U.S. the average?
As long as it's not Angles or England's paying us, I'm good.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
$5,000? Don't leave your loved ones with your debts.
Oh, well.
Up right now and get up to $25,000 in final expense coverage starting at less than $1 a day. Yes, I said 25 grand in coverage for less than $1 a day. With Smart Bunny, it's fast and easy. There's no medical exam, and you can be approved even if you have pre-existing health conditions. Your rates can never be increased, your benefits can never be decreased, and your coverage can never be canceled. So don't wait. Download the Smart Bunny app and get up to $25,000 in coverage for your funeral and other final expenses. Go to the App Store and download the Smart Bunny app and get instant coverage. Download the Smart Bunny.
We're going to come out around 12:02 or 1:02.
And businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top quality fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking great now as we get into our Wednesday afternoon. Shower chance Thursday with sunshine and slightly cooler weather expected Friday. Most of us right near 70 degrees this afternoon and plenty of sunshine. Tonight, we'll start to see a few clouds trickle in later, 45, and a few showers around late morning into the afternoon tomorrow. A little bit of a breeze coming in, 62 degrees. Behind that front, as I mentioned, slightly cooler Friday, sunny.
You guys are recording tomorrow, right? Or do I need to?
Report is sponsored by Audible.
Sweet.
Well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate.
Yeah, sorry, I know I'm more clunky than the bald man, but he's done it forever.
Shoulders or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do? Like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking. And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville, your #1 preset in the car, and now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview, WMXF Wayne.
All right, we're going to come out into the open here.
Free never sounded so good. The Sportsocracy.
That fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake and bake!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
3, 2.
We're live from the 2025 of this here program, the Sportsocracy. We have a Limpy Tank. He was with us in the first hour just to tell the good people that he was still alive and to tell some of his trials over the last week with the extra hole. I mean, my friends always used to tell me I needed things like another hole in the head. Worse for foot too.
I think he just came on. I was handling it okay. He knew leaving me in your care was a risk, but I think it paid off. I think it's all right.
Well, leaving anything in my care is a risk. But we are here at 2025 NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis, Indiana. It appears that maybe the end of days is not actually coming, and the outrageous thunderstorm that has been rolling through here maybe is pushing away. It looks like it's beautiful in Asheville. I've had the worst luck with weather through all of the travels. I go from hot into cold seemingly about once every other week. I got here. There was snow on the ground when I got
I
here.
left nice. I left the ice, and it's like this is temperate.
It's like a summer vacation.
It's real nice.
I saw Dave was walking around the kitchen earlier, had his bathing suit on. He's trying to find the pool to jump into. He is from the Great North. He does a great job covering all things Major League Baseball, the NBA, hockey, which is his strong suit. And he does a great job doing NFL stuff with us. We run a lot of fantasy football stuff. We'll be doing that again in the new year.
Absolutely.
We have to figure out a way with the schedule to get it to where, Tank and I aren't through two bloodshot eyes driving back after long nights of games and overtimes and things like that.
Makes it a little more difficult.
But we are here at the Scouting Combine, and one of the things that means is that it's NFL Players Association Report Card Day. And some teams did a great job of jumping up Washington Commanders 1 year ago were one of the worst teams in the NFL. Now, overall grade up to 11. Weird what a new owner and a quarterback will do for you.
Still some misses, but I think overall you got to be happy with that.
Well, I mean, the overall grades, you went up in a lot of things. Famously, new owner, what's his name?
Josh. Yeah.
It's complete. His last name just went completely out of his head. He said, I'm not an F- kind of guy. And he did upgrade a lot of things around the Washington area. It appears that they could have better nutritionists.
Josh Harris.
I can't want to say Josh Myers for some reason. He's the center for the Packers. He does not own the Washington Commanders.
He does not.
But a lot of improvement. Strength coaches was way better. Team travel was way better. Head coach, Dan Quinn, number 1.
A+.
I'm not going to lie, I did not see that.
Every single player gave him A+.
I will say, I remember when he was hired, after they had discussed all of the iterations of Ben Johnson or whoever was going to take the job over.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Tank, who was just railing on Dan Quinn, I said, you do understand this is not as bad a hire as you think. I thought it was a weird hire.
Sure.
To hire Dan Quinn as you were going to bring in the young franchise quarterback. But it's worked out well. It's also quite telling what a good owner does.
It's a significant improvement. A couple other coaches that had the A+ grade.
No, Reed Morris.
Kevin O'Connell, everybody's favorite line, Reed, of course. Kneecaps himself. And Mr. Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel's down in Miami. He looks like he dresses like he works at cartel, and he looks like in his off hours he would be quite a fun guy.
I'm not convinced that anyone in Miami pays attention to anything outside of, but it's not. I don't
I would really love, so as you're looking at grades for head coaches, I would love to know what's going on in Kevin Stefanski's head today. There were only 3 seats. Jacksonville, fired.
Yep.
Chicago Bears, Matt Eberflus,
gone.
Fired. But I'm still here.
It's an interesting grade. That team is in disarray. It's a complete mess right now.
Do you see anything weird with the other head coach grades? There's only a handful of these. There's one behind the Saints that's out. He's fired.
Yeah.
There are 4 other Bs. The Jets, who did not have a head coach for over half of the year, somehow still got a B.
Yep.
Then you go Denver Broncos with Sean Payton, John Harbaugh in Baltimore, and Sean McDermott in Buffalo. 4 of the lowest rated coaches in all of the NFL, according to the Players Association report.
All of those teams did pretty well. Denver made huge strides there. Buffalo, obviously, championship quality, didn't quite get over the hump. Baltimore, same story.
Like huge strides with the roster, but they're still 17
They
and by the way, if you think this thing doesn't play, this gets referenced a lot when I talk to agents around here.
Well, there's a lot of, I mean, just in case you didn't know what's on this, things like treatment of families, food, locker room, training room. Like, it's not just about like head coach and like a team owner, which we did not, our teams did not do well. The team owner
worst owner in the NFL, Woodrow Johnson III.
This is what happens when you reference Madden ratings.
The only F in the NFL in terms of owner was the owner of my team, Woody Johnson. And for a point of reference, David Tepper, who, well, you know the things that have happened with him, he got a D-, as did Michael Bidwell, who had players working out in a weight room with a rotten floor 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Woody Johnson was still just a scooch below that.
What I read from this is people do not like ownership a lot. New England also with D. We also had Tampa Bay with a D or D plus. There are a lot of teams that they do not like owners. Players that don't like owners. plus for Tampa Bay.
Well, I mean, there's some owners they like.
Some, yes, a few.
Hey, weird. Arthur Blank, A plus. He's been an A plus for about as long as I can remember.
Yep.
Now I'll say the other two guys surprised me. Ziggy will not so much. Stephen Ross here surprised me a lot. The Dolphins players, I think they got like a bonus. I mean, they were first among all the teams in the NFL, highest rated according to the NFLPA report cards. After looking on the negative side, 5 teams. Well, one was yours.
Yep.
One was mine.
Yeah.
And then there was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Not a shock.
I don't see anything in that that's all that shocking. What kind of shocked me from there, I'm a little surprised that Pittsburgh, just because they've been a consistently good team for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Lowest rated teams were Cardinals at 32, your Patriots at 31, the Browns at 30, Jets at 29, and Steelers at 28. Do you look at any of those things and go, they're on the upswing?
Not yet.
Arizona's roster is.
Yeah.
You still have one of the clunkiest ownership situations I've ever seen.
So Jimothy wants to know how did Gale quit?
Sir Jimmy, he really wants to know how Gale Benson grades anytime ownership comes up.
Yeah. I don't think any of those teams surprised me. There is not one of those problems with all of those teams. I will also point out that a lot of those teams, not all of them, had prolonged prolonged success that have now fallen off. The Patriots were, for a long time, everything, and now they are not. And they're starting from the bottom, and they're trying to work their way up, which means that they are 31st, deservedly so. Cleveland at 30th is like the least shocking thing I've ever seen.
It was not overly shocking to me. Minnesota and Miami have been on the top of this thing for 2 or 3 solid years now.
Yep.
Miami was 1, Minnesota was 2, the Falcons were 3. Then we went Las Vegas Raiders, and this is in the overall grade. Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Chargers, Houston Texans, San Francisco 49ers.
Only one of those teams plays in cold weather. I just want to point that out. And they play in the dome.
That does help. But, I mean, look, this is about the experience of playing for a team. Free agents are looking at this. Agents are looking at this. Agents of draft prospects are looking at this. It is a big deal. And you see the big jumps year over year. The Falcons were 25 last year.
Yep.
What does that tell you?
It tells you they've made improvements.
It tells you it wasn't real fun to play there under Arthur Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And Raheem Morris made it considerably better. Kind of like the Washington Commanders. The Ron Rivera thing, they were 32 last year. Between Ron Rivera, Dan Snyder, and whoever was playing quarterback, all those guys get out of town. You get Josh Harris, you get Dan Quinn, you get Jaden Daniels. And weird, the whole trajectory of the franchise looks drastically different.
It's almost like winning heals a lot.
Winning certainly heals a lot. It also heals a lot to have your quarterback. It also heals a lot to have a boss that will invest the money, which he obviously did because their rating improved on everything year over year. There's not one grade they had last year that went there.
I'd be really curious to see what the overpay percentage is for the teams at the bottom to get someone to come. How much more on top of a free agent contract do you need to add in to get someone to play for you as the 32nd or 29th or 31st team? Because you've got to do it. That's what's going to happen.
When you look at the teams, the Jets have overpaid virtually every player that's ever come to the building.
Yep.
Your Patriots have overpaid every player that's come to the building for 3 years.
Yes.
It's not shocking. It's also not shocking that you look at the teams on the bottom of this list and you go, man, not a lot of good teams there. No. And you look at the top of the list and you go, man, that's a lot of consistent playoff teams. They might not be winning Super Bowls, but you got a lot of teams there that are consistently competitive.
It makes a big difference. Treatment of families is going to play well with free agents. Locker room, like training room. Those are the things that guys are looking at when you're going. It's one thing to get a team that wins. It's another thing to go somewhere where it matters how you treat the players. Team travel is important.
Team travel is the funniest one to me because it is what gets mentioned. Probably outside of head coaching ownership, it's probably mentioned to me the most when we talk about this eval.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills, F-. I also feel like that's a little biased because they have one of the hardest. It's harder to travel out of Buffalo than it is anywhere else.
How do you get an F-? How can you be less than failed?
They fly Spirit. I feel like they fly Spirit Airlines.
Someone lost their bags.
For sure. Yeah, they were on that Delta Airlines flight. They wound up upside down and they went, that's it.
That's it.
F-. The plane has to be right side up when it lands on the ground.
Patriots also an F.
By the way, just since we're talking about travel here, did you notice that there was almost another plane crash yesterday?
Yeah.
At the airport, you're flying back home.
Yep. Yeah.
I saw that and immediately went, I feel like I should disable the Wi-Fi for about 8 hours so Dave doesn't see that O'Hare was the source of another uncomfortable air travel.
Yeah, we'll just knock on wood and cross all the fingers when I fly back on Monday.
He told me that as he got on the plane.
Yeah.
He landed in Newark. We talked. He said, just fingers crossed that I'll see you soon. You have a better disposition about this than I would, which is why I will not be getting in a plane anytime soon. This is ESPN Radio Asheville, 92.9, 880, 1400. I'm Jeremy Green. He's David Smith. We're talking players, 2025 NFL Scouting Combine. We are here with the Eagles Living the Dream Tour in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're going to talk more draft right after this.
Listeners are always asking about QC.
All right, you're clear.
They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First question, is your quality of life impacted?
Flying's still safer than driving a car.
Other joints, trouble sleeping, walking day-to-day movement. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get matched to your perfect bed now and sleep at night. Plus, if you see a lower price, they'll match it. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm to upgrade today. Restrictions apply. Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data, available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher for network management.
You guys know it's also the 10-year anniversary of the dress today.
Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get matched to your...
Yeah, the trippy one that everybody couldn't decide was blue or black or gold, and yeah.
Hurry and stop by Mattress.
Yeah.
Upgrade today. Restrictions apply.
Yeah, that was 10 years today.
Home was a dream come true. You wanted to walk up with central air and a skylight.
I feel old.
Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Ain't no truth on the radio station. Somebody owes me an explanation. Well, I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
You just got to keep living, man. LIVIN.
All right, 3, 2.
We're back here at the Sportsocracy. I'm Jeremy Green, and he's David Smith, pitch hitting for our derailed tank. Our tank has one less flaw to roll the big. I don't know tank, which for answer, I'm really happy. For actual like bang bang tanks, I probably should have figured that out before I tried to make it.
They got tracks.
Tracks. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, tank is
track on his right side is falling off. Yeah.
I mean, well, the good thing is that I now know that it's the right side. It's the right foot. I didn't know that until just now.
Actually, I actually need to go double check my sources on that. I was just spitballing.
I will say the more people tell me where Tank is at physically right now, the more he turns into the old man, the cartel, the Abe Simpson from the Simpsons. He's got Walker. He's got tennis balls on it. It's just the more things happen, the more he is 8,000 years old.
Dear Mr. President, there are too many states.
Please get rid of 4. Something that we do need to get rid of is the day off that we have here. We've been here 2 days, and then we have an off day. We had 3-ish hours of recordings, or interviews, this morning. I said recordings because we've been recording. I've been in this chair I'm sitting in a lot.
We spent a lot of time in this exact space.
These people are going to take their Airbnb back and regain possession of it, and there's going to be a perfect buttonary of a Southern ESPN radio gentleman in this lovely teal.
It's a teal.
It's a teal color? Yes. Interesting choice. It's a lovely house.
Happy to be in it.
Oh, yeah, the kitchen's beautiful. The road, that could be a little wider. I think we should go eminent domain and maybe repossess that sidewalk. Stretch that back way out so we can actually get 2 cars. Go each way. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it has been an absolute adventure so far. Great day yesterday with coaches and GMs. Going to player interviews today, and then tomorrow is the real getting into the real meat and potatoes. Starting.
Oh,
it's workout time, baby.
I've got the nerd starter kit. David has not seen this yet, but I brought my binoculars with me.
Yep.
Because I'm old and I can't see. And where we sit, it is really hard to see the number on each one of these guys' little bonnets. And I can't necessarily tell who you are.
We are fully geared up. We are spec'd out, hardcore, ready to go for this. Hopefully get some quality interviews up on YouTube. Some later today. We'll have some more content out later today. Definitely some tomorrow and the next day. It's going to be drinking. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notifications on
YouTube. We definitely want you to go to the YouTube, find your team. By the end of tomorrow, you will have your team needs, top 3 biggest positional needs for your NFL team. 1 free agent that you must sign in this free agency period. And we take into account your salary cap space. We take into account what you need. We take into account everything. And then your 3-round mock draft from my last set of mock drafts. And I mean, if you missed the first one, go back and watch them now. If you've already seen them and you're craving more, the good thing is we're going to have another set of 3-round mock drafts next week. My wife is so excited about having to do that again. Just a week and a half after we did it the last time.
Absolutely. And, we appreciate the likes for giving us the opportunity to do this.
Your spouse has been phenomenal through this. She put a message up on Facebook and she and I started talking. the things that Dave had to do while he was here. And number one was that we had to get you some pepper chicken.
Yeah, we got to get.
We refer to it in the South. It's Jesus chicken.
It's got to happen. We've been doing our fast food tour of America for this Canada. It's been a good time.
All right, so as we're doing grades, because it is draft time, if you had to grade your first experience with Jack in the Box, I mean, other than the fact it took 2 hours to get here.
It's a solid B plus.
That's a lot higher than
I think it's a solid B plus.
That was a C experience from Jack in the Box, which is usually a B plus.
And I'm going to tell you it's a B plus because of the variety. You got a little munchy box. I don't know how you can argue with the place that gives you a cheeseburger, a taco, curly fries, and your bevy. It's hard to argue with that.
Red Bull beverages that I don't know how much sugar's in them, but I know it's more than I should consume in 1 calendar day.
It's too much.
But they are super tasty. Another thing we learned here in Indianapolis, Amazon apparently just never stops. I think Amazon drivers work around the clock. We ordered the headphone that's in my ear right now that's allowing us to talk to you. This was one of the purchases of, hey, I need that, and it will make this easier tomorrow for radio to be able to hear us. And if you're listening on YouTube, yes, we do know that the audio is a little choppy. We have not had time to format these things. We formatted them for radio so the radio can hear us better, and that's where we are. But we're trying our best. It's better than some other entities that have way more money and budgets than we do. T's and P's. Guys. I felt your pain so much, and I love all of you guys dearly, and I felt so bad for you.
Amazon arrived immediately, though.
So we ordered a headset, another piece that we needed for interviews, and a case of Monsters. I got a notification as I was sleeping at 5 a.m. this morning that said your Amazon delivery is on the truck and en route. And I saw it, and I thought I imagined it, but I didn't. And then I heard the doorbell ring at 6:17 this morning. And I looked out the window because the window looked facing the street right outside my bed. And I looked out the window, there was an Amazon delivery truck outside our house at 6.
I could not believe how fast it got here. I'm not convinced they stop. I'm pretty sure they just throw things into the truck as they're driving by.
I think it's just a gigantic distribution center right down the street from here. They go, hey, what you need?
It's t-shirt cannons. It's all it is. It's just t-shirt cannons shooting stuff into the back of Amazon delivery trucks. Getting it out to the people of Indianapolis.
We do have, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you had ordered those 3 things in your residence in Canada,
yep,
how long would it have taken for them to get you?
3 to 5 days. It's not. People don't know it. We're not first of all, we have fast food. It's just different fast food.
Yeah, you don't have
we don't have Jack in the Box.
You don't have the depth.
Yeah, we don't have the variety.
You're the Philadelphia Eagles of, or no, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Of fast food.
Yeah.
You got the high end. It's the depth where you're lacking.
Yeah, so it's we'll get Amazon. Like if it's 2 days or 3 days, that's a good delivery time. Like if you can get something like on Monday, you get it by Wednesday, that's solid. And I've never found myself in need until we got to Indianapolis to have something same day delivered from Amazon. I
was ordered more stuff. How quick can you get here?
Now it's just an adventure. Now we're just testing the limits.
I forgot my black belt, so I've had to wear gray pants with a brown belt and brown shoes for the first 2 days.
Yeah.
My black shoes are way more comfortable, so I needed a black belt. I ordered one before the show started. I want to see if it gets here before the show ends, as just a walking, talking endorsement for Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
I don't think we have our buttons here. We got a couple of super chats.
We do. I do not have a button here because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what would happen. Oh, there we go. Have one back. I keep forgetting that there's somebody on this because we've been recording and we have these things in our ear but there's nobody on the other side. It's just so we can hear each other. Sir Timothy, he said, will y'all post the ranks of the team grades? I need to find a place where it's actually isolated. I will in the chat in the next commercial break. I will post the link to the full report cards. It does not give you the overall grades. There is an overall grade on each team. You can click on the team and it'll tell you that. Yeah. But I'll post that in the chat. And then you have one more. There it is. Sir Timothy said, if Tank needs a wheelchair, y'all know a guy. And I think he said that in jest. But based off what I heard,
he needs a wheelchair.
I think he needs a wheelchair. He almost got decapitated by a door earlier.
He was limping out of here on a walker, guys. I was having to carry his stuff out to the car. Tank Senior came and got him. It was poor Tank. So I'm just trying to keep the car on the road, guys. But yeah, we wish a speedy recovery to the bald man.
Big ups to the Mama and Papa Tank.
Absolutely.
Well. They were, every time I called Tank, I could hear either Mama Tank or Papa Tank in the background.
That'll teach Tank to do chores. He's trying to clean up.
Sure.
You're trying to clean up. This is what we've learned.
Don't do laundry.
Don't do laundry.
Hire
Stop that. Stop that.
I'll be honest with you. We're going to get back to Asheville. Swano Cleaners. You're about to get a whole mess of business from me because I'm just going to drop my laundry off at the front door.
There's probably a same-day delivery laundry service in Indianapolis. We could probably.
We have one.
We do have a washer dryer.
Oh, you know what? I should have ordered some liquid,
some detergents.
Guess we'll have to add that to the belt so it gets here before the end of the show. I'm Jeremy Green. He's David Smith. We're live in Indianapolis, Indiana, here on ESPN Radio Asheville 92.9, 880 and 1400. We're brought to you by our fantastic sponsors. We absolutely adore them. We thank them so much for all that they do for us. Eagle Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. Parks Ford of Hendersonville, the beautiful Parks Ford mobile studio that got us here safe and sound. It did get a lot of cars to go out of my way. On the way back, I'm going to record a video of all of the ways that the Parks Ford mobile studio makes me, who is completely incompetent, a better traveler, and Clarissa Self, WNC.com. After this break, we're going to talk NFL Combine guys that could blow it out tomorrow. We're going to try to stay a day ahead. So we'll talk about defensive linemen before they work out tomorrow at the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine here in Indianapolis.
Clear.
This is your Exergen temporal scan.
Sorry, it took me a minute to find the button.
ESPN Asheville.
You're all good,
Right
man.
now, as we
Did you forget I was here? That's hilarious.
weather expected Friday. Most of us right near 70 degrees afternoon and plenty of sunshine. Tonight, start to see a few clouds trickle in later, 45, and a few showers around.
So get this. So my buddy ordered something on like ASAP delivery Amazon in Waynesville. All right. Car shows up in his driveway at 4:30 a.m. unmarked, no Amazon sticker. She just got out and had the vest on, but she pulled up and the German Shepherd started going nuts at 4:36 a.m.
And you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra.
Because they chose ASAP delivery, and he's like, I didn't realize that that's what that meant. So our German Shepherd started going nuts.
Gas first, before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
No,
Yeah, checking first is smart.
you got to go check it. We'll vamp. I'll play the Jeopardy theme, and you got to go check it.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Insurance sold by Smart Money Insurance Services Incorporated. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage. Exclusions and limitations may apply.
Did you know the price of a funeral can be $8,000 or more? Don't leave your loved ones with your debts. Download the Smart Money app right now and get up to $25,000 in final expense coverage starting at less than $1 a day. There's no medical exam, and you can be approved even if you have pre-existing health conditions. Download the Smart Money app and get up to $25,000 in coverage for your funeral and other final expenses. Go to the App Store and download the Smart Money app and get instant coverage. Download the Smart Money app now.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Have you found your new favorite feature on the iHeartRadio app yet?
Presets and lyrics. This is so good.
I've been telling all my friends. Wait, you guys aren't using this yet?
You're missing out.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
Ain't no truth on the radio station. Somebody owes me an explanation. Well, I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
Just living the dream. I love that. You know what? I will have some meatloaf. Let's have some meatloaf. You want some? Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
All right, 3, 2, Will Ferrell.
I'm Jeremy Green. We're back here in the Sportsocracy, Indianapolis, Indiana, 2025 NFL Scouting Combine. You gotta love Tank. With the drops. I told him just go full on drops, living the dream, and who's shocked that that's two from Will Ferrell. That's quality.
It's absolute quality.
Let's have some meatloaf. That meatloaf would be good.
It would be great.
My wife hates meatloaf.
We're gonna need meatloaf. We gotta get some food here at some point. So.
Hey, you know what we should order? See which one gets it first. Amazon, which had to pull the bells out of Lake Michigan, or Uber Eats, who gets here with McDonald's from a mile and a half down the street. Tomorrow starts everything in earnest here at the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis in terms of the workouts.
Yes.
We talked a little bit yesterday about what was important, what did you need to know, where are the most important things that you're going to learn. And so David Smith and I, have looked into the defensive line class, which is what you're going to see working out tomorrow. I'm trying to pull the schedule up. My computer blanked out on me.
It happens. There's a lot of guys that are interesting here. This is, from a defensive perspective, this draft has a lot of intrigue. We're going to see a lot of guys that are going to have some serious impact. We're also going to see some guys that are significantly more raw than others, and it's going to be curious where a lot of them land compared to some of the first-round guys. I think you're more focused on your day 2 and 3 guys at this point in your process. So it'll be really great to see some of those guys working out. But of course, we want to see your top end guys, your character reference.
Well, the workouts are more important for the day 3 guys because I have always said, and these are rules to live by for me with the scouting combine. If you're moving guys more than half a round, in the top 100, and the only reason you should ever move one half a round is if you had an athletic question, whether it's short arms, whether it's short area burst, whatever the case may be. You had a question about, can a guy do this to hold up at this position at the next level? If a guy answers that question in the workouts, I'm okay with moving him up half a round. If he answers it to the negative, I'm okay with moving him down half a round. That's players in the top 100. Now, if we're talking about day 3 guys, you for me can go from completely undraftable into round 4 or 5. And I like that part of this draft. I think you get a lot of talented players that you could see not necessarily put on a show. I don't know that you're going to have a ton of guys. Tomorrow you get defensive linemen and linebackers. I don't know that you're going to get a lot of those guys that are going to put on a show per se.
It's going to be interesting to see some of the guys. This is a draft that's going to be built on value. The top 10 to 25 guys, I think, are pretty well set. We've done a couple of mock drafts where we have been playing out who we would pick. We did a back and forth, evens and odds, where we had, trying to figure out where guys were going to land. And there were more first round grades that you've had in this draft than you've had in years past, which means that there are going to be some people that slip rounds and we're going to see some value fall. So it is going to be interesting to see where that value is played out. And that's always day two. It's always day three. You're going to find guys that are finding those diamonds in the rough, the raw talent. And that's where you're going to make or break yourself when it comes to the workout.
Well, there's a honey hole in every draft class. And that's to me, that's the beauty of the draft, is that none of these are ever the same. Last year you had a lot of high-end offensive players, you had a lot of quarterbacks, you had a lot of receivers. Brian Thomas was and I told you last year, in every other draft I think I've ever evaluated, he would have easily gone top 15. There was just such a depth. I knew quarterback was going to be pushed up. See, we don't have that this time.
No.
There are 3 quarterbacks in this entire class that there is a snowball chance in Atlanta that they go in the first round. Now, I do think there's a great chance that all 3 are going to go in the top 10. That's because one of them is soaring like a bird. But we're going to talk about him on Friday. His name is, I'll give you a hint, it rhymes with Saxon Jart. And there's a great chance he's playing for my team in the fall.
That's what happens when you have sources, Jeremy.
You
take the good with the bad.
I was going to be impressed. I'm the only full-time draft guy of the Jets media, and they kept looking at me going, "Hey, is there any smoke in Jackson Dart 7?" I just kept nodding my head going, "Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is."
You take the good with the bad there.
Hey, I like Jackson Dart. So he'll be fun. We'll talk about him on Friday. With the edge rushers on tomorrow, is there anybody that you're really looking forward to a workout?
Kyle Kennard, I think, going to be curious to see where he lands.
I want to see how he measures. He's a squatty guy anyway.
We've kind of talked about
in terms of arm length and build. If he shows up and he's got some kind of freak arms, you start talking about him in the top 40.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm curious about the top end guys like your Mike Greens. I'm curious where he would land. I want to see how he measures up because sometimes talent speaks more than the red flags, and we've seen it multiple times in this league.
There's a great chance that Mike Green runs the fastest 40 in this class. Pure edge guys.
Yeah, Nick Scorton. Interesting.
I'm more interested in how he plays.
Yeah,
I want to see the measurements on him because I feel like there's a possibility, and now you call me a conspiracy theorist here. There's a possibility that he shows up here heavy.
Yeah.
And now, I know that sounds crazy. He shows up here 280 to 285.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are teams that are evaluating his 3 tech on the outside of the 3-4. But he shows up heavy here, and he still does freak things. It runs like a mid-4 6s. Then he goes to his pro day, and he shows up at 255. And says, "Hey, I can do this too." Or vice versa. Could be either way. I find Scorton to be a very interesting prospect in terms of what he can be. I love his pass rush chops. He's another one of those guys that I could take 2 years ago. And he was intoxicating to watch it for Purdue. I had him in my top 25 coming into the year. Then he went to the land of the lost for edge rushers, where very talented players go to not produce squat.
Can we stop sending edge rushers to A&M?
I'm going to start a charity. I swear to you, no edge left behind. Just no. We're going to start an NIL fund. Any defensive lineman that thinks they're going to sign at Texas A&M, because you go there and you don't produce squat, and then you come into these situations, we figure out how athletically freaky you are. Oh, by the way, they also had Walter Nolan a year ago too.
Yes.
So you added Scorton, which you didn't have with Nolan.
Yeah.
You lost Nolan, you replaced him with Scorton. It's mind-boggling how much talent they had at one time on the defensive line. And yet you've got guys that are putting up a second.
We've got 2 guys that are Shamar Stewart also there, Nick Scorton. both good.
And they're all freaks of nature. Walter Nolan's a freak of nature. Both the Shamars, as I call them, the Shamar twins.
We need to start this NELB fund, the NELB, no edge left behind, and
I
get
think
them
it's
out.
brilliant.
And then we get them out of there and put them somewhere where we can actually see something significant. There's going to be someone in this edge class that's going to get moved to linebacker. And
I think one of these things are going to play through 3-4 outside linebacker, which takes me to a guy that I'm very interested to see athletically how he profiles.
Mm-hmm.
If I had $1 for every person that asked me about Braden Swinton,
yep,
I get it. I know why you're asking me that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid tomorrow you're going to see what. And it's not that I'm ignoring them and I'm not pushing them off. I want to give you a better answer to that after I have watched him athletically, because on tape, I see things that leave me wanting more with him.
Yeah.
The skills are absolutely there. I just think there's a possibility that he's going to be, size-wise, he's going to be a perfect standing edge, but he's not athletic enough to do it. And then as a hand of the dirt, guy's too thin.
It presents the problem. The NFL in general is going small. We're seeing smaller and smaller guys coming out. So I don't know if it's a long-term thing. I don't know what's going to happen. We're also seeing more explosive running backs now. We're also seeing dual running backs. We had a bit of a conversation offline about, are we going to see more of the two-pronged running back attack? I'm not going to call it the other name that everybody calls it because I refuse to get on board with that train. We're not branding that.
Stupid same reference.
We're not branding it. We're not branding it. It's a two-pronged running back attack. So
you're Jim Carrey's starting the movie, and he's the only actor that's ever blocked me on Twitter. So I will not add to his wealth for his stupid things.
I think that there's some merit to seeing guys that are you going to play a 4-3? Are you going to play a 3-4? Where do you sit? How are you able to get off? Are you able to shed? What's the explosiveness look like? What's that second move? What's the spin? Are you able to get that bend around the block? Those things are important, especially given the way that the offensive game has shifted.
Well, another part of tomorrow that I'm really looking forward to is the interior defensive line guys. I think this class really deep. I also think you're going to have a handful of guys that show up here and just choose violence.
Mm-hmm.
Tonka Hemingway, I want people to remember I said that name, because I have a funny feeling he's going to show up here maybe a little lighter than you would expect him to. He played about 290. I think he's going to show up about 280 and run into 4.7s. And people are going to go, come again for Judge Bucks? That big dude just did what now?
What a name.
Tonka Hemingway?
What a name.
Oh, his parents looked at him when he was born and went, you're going to play in the NFL. You're going to be a PDD. I bet his dad's bigger than him.
Tonka Hemingway is poetry in motion. That's why they got it. That's a big truck.
It's almost as tantalizing as, what was it, Bull Rush?
Yes. Poetry in motion, Tonka Hemingway.
By the way, TJ Sanders, another guy that in terms of just sheer, don't be shocked if he throws out like a high 4.8 time and his short jump really good. Walter Nolan's going to do dumb things.
Yeah.
Shamar Stewart's going to do ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Shamar Stewart doesn't look human at times.
What are we going to see out of Mason Graham?
In terms of what does the workout look like, or what am I going to take from it?
Well, what are you going to take? Let's go with what you're going to take from it.
Nothing. Mason Graham could show up on that field and just drunkenly decide to military crawl between every one of these stanchions, and I would still say he's a top 5 pick. Where he could be a little different for me, he is super sweaty.
Yeah.
Because he's got really short arms. We don't know exactly how short. I referenced this I believe in the mock draft that meme of guy turned over from his wife, and his wife's going, "Oh, he's thinking about other girls," and the guy's thinking, If Mason Graham or Will Campbell had arms that were an inch longer, they would be the number one pick of this draft, and nobody would tell me different.
Future Patriot.
I think there's a great chance of it. But when his arms come in really short and he's got little T-Rex arms, he becomes a 3/4 defensive end.
Yeah.
There's going to be a specialist in even fronts. I know what I believe in the player. I'm very convicted on what I believe with Mason Graham. So the workout's not going to change anything. Yeah. Where workouts change things for me, I'll give you a name, and I want you to put it in the back of your head. Tyleik Williams. If he does what I think he can do athletically, and he posts sometime at 327 pounds, that is Mekhi Becton, and I think he could do that. Then he gets into a space because I know guys that think he is.
There's a lot of possibility there. I'm really curious to know. Maybe we'll look a little further ahead when we come back from break and look at the offensive side of the ball. Let's look at the tackles. Let's look at the centers. Let's look at those guards.
I don't think you're going to see the freak numbers out of a lot of those guys.
No, you're not. Wide receivers and
defensive tackle, you're going to see there are.
This is the show.
I think I had 7 guys that I considered to be big dancing bears. Alfred Collins. We're going to talk about him much because I don't. I'm going to say I'm in like with him, not love. Because I can't figure out if you're as good as everybody's telling me. Why did you play behind Byron Murphy? Why did you play behind T'Vondre Sweat? Why did you have to move positions? There's just a lot of questions with him that I would like to ask. And not to him. I want to ask it to the coaching staff. What was it about him that you didn't want?
That stuck down starting probably tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do that. We do a lot every night here from the lovely Chateau de Combine.
Chateau de Combine 25.
It's a working name.
It's a progress French. We got to do
it. We'll be doing stock up, stock down as a separate segment that'll be put out as separate content. We're gonna be doing a lot of separate content.
There's a lot.
That's why I'm like spot welded to this chair. In the next break, I'm gonna have to get up and take a nice lap around and
stretch the old leg.
Get blood back into the old foot because Tank has shown me firsthand that.
Take care of your feet, people.
You got to make sure there's no injuries to the foot.
Can't do it. We've got a lot of interesting prospects that are coming up on the defensive side. There are a couple on the offensive side. We're not going to see all of them. We talked about here.
There's not, at least, and that's a good point you brought up. As of right now, there are a lot of up in the air on who. I know definitively Abdul Carter is not.
No.
I know definitively that
Ashton Jennings
is not.
He's not.
And Shedeur Sanders is not going to throw. He is here, and he's going to interview, and he's going to throw at his pro day. We don't know on Cam Ward.
He might.
The rumor is that he's going to throw.
Yeah.
I don't know that to be true, and he could change his mind. He could get here and go, there's no possibility that I'm going to fall past 7 under any circumstances. So I don't really need to throw, and I can hurt myself more than I hurt myself.
Yep.
Jackson Dart will throw.
Yes.
That was confirmed yesterday, as was Riley Leonard and Will Howard.
Yes.
I know definitively they're all going to throw in their workouts. In quarterbacks, I can't remember exactly. I'll give you a schedule of the events. So you'll have defensive linemen and linebackers tomorrow. That workout starts at 3. Watch that on the NFL Network and look up in the crowd when you see 2 large bears with big beards.
That's us.
Tomorrow we get Friday, we get defensive backs and tight ends. I've got the media schedule in my head. So,
yeah.
Saturday, that's when the workout started. 1, we have quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and then we have offensive linemen on Sunday. Sunday, we are going to do a live YouTube mock draft of all of the events from the combine, all the risers, all the followers, all your questions, all the things that you could ever want. I'm so excited. It's going to be a mock draft.
Get pumped. Get pumped.
My wife said I get more excited about mock drafts than I do about anything.
You want to get Jeremy excited, you send him a mock draft.
Send me a mock trade. Show me that you looked at the Jimmy Johnson trade chart. I'm telling you right now. That's 100% 6 minutes.
There is absolutely nothing better in this life than making a pick in a mock draft that Jeremy hasn't thought about, and it makes sense.
And then I just go.
I throw a Malachi Starks into a spot where he ought not be, and you go, wait a minute.
I turn into a dog staring at the answer machine like, wait,
hold on.
I know that voice. That's the one that gives me treats. We're live in Indianapolis, Indiana, 2025 Scouting Combine. He is our resident Canadian who graciously pinch hit for Tank after his injury. He's David Smith. I'm Jeremy Green. You can find me on Twitter at ESPN Draft Nerds. You can also find all of our latest up-to-date videos, team needs for every NFL team, mock drafts for every NFL team on our YouTube channel. You can also find those tied back on my new website, NFLDraft.net. It's a work in progress. We're using this as like the beta year of we build it all out of how we want it to look moving forward. So I want to hear your feedback. There's a little spot on the website that you can give that. Things you like, things you don't like, things you want to see. You can also hit me on Twitter at ESPN Draft Nerd. Dave, you ready for your first shot at the daily draft?
I'm ready for it.
Let's go. Daily draft. Coming up next here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio 92.9, 880, 1400. Live from Indianapolis, 2025 NFL Scouting Combine with Ingles Markets, Parks Ford of Hendersonville, and Clarissa Sells, WNC.com.
Do you have more than
Clear.
$10,000 in credit card debt? JetBlue is here for you. JetBlue can settle your debts for a fraction of what you owe.
All right, you guys talking about Tonka? I submit my submission for the greatest college football team name, or the greatest football name of all time. It's on the all college name team. I found it on Instagram.
Guarantee. You pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved.
Yep.
I absolutely recommend somebody calling JetBlue because the money that they saved you, that they.
Yeah, that's I showed Tank and he about lost it.
Words to express how much and how grateful I am for JetBlue.
In one free 10-minute call, JetBlue can show you how to save thousands. Call our free hotline now. 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158.
Thank you, JetBlue.
Call now and get a custom debt relief plan. 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you?
My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress with our selection of comfortable beds, pillows, decor, mood lighting, and so much more? Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time.
Sounds like a dream.
Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This February, celebrate Heart Month with Haywood Regional Medical Center. Your heart is vital, and we're here to help keep it healthy. From emergency care to specialized cardiology services, our team is dedicated to your well-being. Early detection saves lives, so schedule your checkup today. Take the first step in protecting your heart. Visit myhaywoodregional.com to learn more about our heart health services. Because when it comes to your heart, every beat counts. Celebrate Heart Month and take care of your heart at Haywood Regional Medical Center.
Fabrice.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Fabrice Fabric Spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Fabrice. La 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 la.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking great now as we get into our Wednesday afternoon. Shower chance Thursday, with sunshine and slightly cooler weather expected Friday. Most of us right near 70 degrees this afternoon and plenty of sunshine. Tonight, we'll start to see a few clouds trickle in later, 45, and a few showers around late morning into the afternoon tomorrow. A little bit of a breeze coming in, 62 degrees. Behind that front, as I mentioned, slightly cooler Friday, sunny, high 55. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Station.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Are you a crunch? Incapable of letting other people talk?
Firehouse or Jersey Mike's? That's the question.
You sleep at night.
Oh.
Mattress Firm. They have 120.
All right,
So you can get your money back if a bed's not right.
We're coming out in about a minute and 12 seconds. Gotta go the.
Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Insurance sold by Smart Money Insurance Services Incorporated. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage. Exclusions and limitations may apply.
Did you know the price of a funeral can be $8,000 or more? Don't leave your loved ones with your debts. Download the Smart Money app right now and get up to
Italian, but Jersey Mike's with the juice. That's what you got to roll that.
and you can be a
You got to take him to Jersey Mike's to get the juice. Oh.
$5,000 in coverage for your funeral and other final expenses. Go to the App Store and download the Smart Bunny app and get instant coverage. Download the Smart Bunny app now.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my
True.
show
Also good hot sauce.
8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville, your number one preset in the car, and now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler. Free never sounded so good. Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog thief! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
All right, 3, 2.
We're live here in Indianapolis, Indiana. David Smith, armchair commentary. He literally went through customs to be here. Our resident Canadian making his weekly debut appearance here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio 92.9, 880 and 1400. I am Jeremy Gray. You're used to this annoying voice of mullets and accents and egotism and all of the things. I'm normal. He's new. He's new fun. I'm old fun.
We're all just fun. We're just having a good time.
So, Daily Draft, that's what we do here in the third hour of the program, and we thought it would be fun today. I'm going to play the same game with David that I play with Tank when it comes to the draft. I'm going to give myself a handicap because I am the draft guy. I will give you the top 100 players.
Mm-hmm.
I will take players outside of my top 100.
Yeah.
Defensive players, since we will have defensive linemen, linebackers, and DBs. All the defensive guys work out between Thursday and Friday.
Yep.
Give me the defensive players that you are higher on than the industry. You got the top 100. You got the higher picks. I'll let you go first.
I've been thinking about this once you asked me about it literally a few seconds ago. I'm going to start with Kenneth Grant.
Okay, what is it that you like? And I'm not telling you I disagree.
No.
I always want to ask, what is it about him that you like so much?
I like the size. I like the explosiveness. I like the ability to move through the tackle. I think that he is going to be an impact player immediately. Also comes from a school that is notoriously good at pushing these guys out. It is not uncommon to see a high caliber player at this position coming out. Unfortunately, it's a very heavy edge draft. It's a very heavy defensive draft. So you're not going to see as many of these guys go as early as you would. I think in drafts past, he'd be higher on this. So I'm going to go ahead and take Kenneth Grant. I think that he should be higher, but he won't be because I'm not higher than Abdul Carter than anybody. Everybody else has got him at 1. I can't go there.
That's because Abdul Carter say
Dog. The DAGG dog. I think that that's where it goes. There were a couple other guys. There's a couple other guys that I think I got in there too, but we'll let them go. So I'm going to go 1. I'll take Kenneth Grant.
So I am in like with Kenneth Grant.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people are higher on him than me.
Yep.
Solely because I find his game to be really immature.
Sure.
And I've been burned on players like this in the past, where it's the height, weight, speed, physical.
Mm-hmm.
And you're projecting something that I'm not necessarily consistently seeing on the tape. I also am a little remiss that he did a lot of his production didn't yield finishing.
Sure.
I got so frustrated watching him at times because he would have a play that he looked out of this world, and then he couldn't do the most simple, most mundane things, and it drove me absolutely nuts.
I understand that.
So a service that I use, it's a great website, you should use it as well, in addition to NFL Draft, is NFL Draft Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
They, like I, have a service that projects height, weight, speed, hand size, arm size, length, 40 time, all of those things.
Yep.
Our numbers do not always line up.
Yep.
Sometimes they are very, very close. I very rarely ever see a number that, like Kenneth Grant, they have at 495. I have it at 491. So it's not exactly there, but we're pretty close. The only thing is with 40s, that 400ths of a second.
It makes a difference.
That doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Grant is in the 99th percentile of weight of defensive tackles at 342 pounds.
Yes, he is.
His 40 time projected 40 time. He's in the 82nd percentile of all defensive tackles.
Yeah, he's going to be a beast.
He's going to run, and that's my fear. That's been my fear with him, is that I'm afraid he's going to come in here and have one of those Mekhi Becton, big man, big combines. And then all of a sudden, now we're talking top 15. He's not a top 15 player.
He's not.
He's just not. There's not tape there that suggests that. Anything after that, I've had him to the Bengals at 17. I've had him to the Seahawks at 18. I'm fine with all of those things.
Yeah.
If I can bring him along slowly, I'm good. Him having to come in and be Mason Graham impactful, it's not fair. Especially not in class as Walter Nolan and TJ Sanders, who are both way more ready to contribute right away.
That's what I was just about to say. This class has a lot of guys who need to sit a year or need to play fewer snaps than you would see from a guy right away. And I think that if you get him in a system later on in the draft, if you're in the early 20s, I think that you are right in the peak area for Kenneth Grant, and you can make a real impact by sitting him down just a year, let him learn, let him mature a little bit, and you'll see some serious impact out of this player.
So I'm taking players outside of the top 100, and I'm going to go with a guy that I believe you're fitting to hear his name just a whole boatload of times in the next 2 days. I'm going to go Elijah Roberts. I have him as a 3 tech. Played defensive end at SMU. Started at Miami. Didn't do a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
But then he came to SMU and he had 10 sacks. He was second in the AAC a year ago.
Yep.
Then last year, he had, I can't remember exactly how many sacks he had last year. But he was just an absolute animal.
Yeah.
I could not stop watching him. I'm a 3, and I'll admit, I'm a 3-4 guy.
Yep.
If I was working for a team, I would want to work for a team that ran a 3-4 defense because I feel like I find these players better than the industry does. He is freak fast. 290 pounds at defensive end is very, very large. I also think there's a possibility he runs a right at 4.7 is 40. He's super explosive. I think there's a possibility he could play on the end of the 4-3. I don't usually evaluate players that way. Yeah. Usually, if you're a 3-4 defensive end, you're a 4-3 defensive tackle. Yeah. And it's just I have a simple brain. It makes and it works 99 times out of 100. And then you come across a guy like Elijah Roberts, and it doesn't work for him. Because I think he's just an edge rusher. He's a super high intensity, high motor, has really good hands. The only knock I have on him is really kind of 1 year wonder.
Sure.
But man, that 1 year was really, really good.
It makes a difference, though.
If I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I will cut backflips if I can take this kid in the third round.
Yeah.
I will absolutely jump for joy if this kid falls in the third round because I think he's an immediate pass rushing threat. He does have to become a better tackler, but even that was the inconsistencies in his tackling technique were inconsistent. It didn't happen enough for me to throw a big red flag.
I think that's totally fair. For my next pick.
Hold on.
Okay.
I go one more.
Oh, yes.
We
go snake here.
Snaky draft.
Listen,
in the efforts of fairness.
Yes.
So I'm gonna level. I was not as high on this kid until I heard another analyst that I trust talk about him. And it got me to watch him and really dig into the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Parrish, cornerback out of Kansas State. He will never, in his entire life, play a snap on the outside. If he does, you did it wrong because there's a possibility he's going to measure in about 5. Put it this way, I'll bet my house Tank Spencer's taller than this kid.
Yep.
If you put them beside each other, I guarantee you Tank's little head will poke up over Jacob Parrish. But then you're really getting to watching the tape. And you watch how shitty he is, and you watch how he deals with guys exclusively a slot defender. And then comes the part that's what I really like about him. He can tackle.
Sure can.
I cannot stand slot corners that can't tackle because it is such a big deal. Because you're close to the ball. So when you run to the outside right here, and you have these little guys that can't tackle, I'm going to run right at them. It leads to safeties having to come up, and then it's the Saquon Barkley run. Yeah. If you watch some of those big runs from Saquon Barkley in 2024, a lot of those started because you had a slot corner or an outside corner that couldn't engage up. Yeah. And they just got washed out. There's no first line defense. And then basically you let that seal block come right at the edge, and then Saquon's just going to outspeed you. I've got to beat you in open space. I love slot corners that can get up into your face. They're very aggressive. They're very physical. And that's what I thought of him. Kansas, and this is a great time for me to say this too. Don't believe any listing from a team in Kansas. I don't know if they don't understand the leading edge. I don't know if your rulers in Canada have that. There's an edge on a ruler that's basically like that much of dead space. First of all, don't ask me why I know that. It came into great use years ago. And that's why I'm very sensitive to the leading edge. They don't understand that. So every player they list is at least 2 inches taller than they actually. He's listed at 5'10" in the Kansas State media guide. Yeah. If that kid's 5'8", I'll actually probably bump him up a little bit because I think he's closer to 5'7".
Yeah. You're going secondary and you're focusing on tackling. I feel like I should also go secondary and focus on tackling. It's someone that I mentioned in the last hour. It's Malachi Starks.
That's a good one.
I think that he's not getting as much traction because there's more focus on the corners, even though they're raw. Obviously, Hunter is great, and then we've got another couple of guys who probably need to sit a year. Malachi Starks can tackle. He's a phenomenal tackler.
He can tackle. You're not wrong in that. he takes angles sometimes that don't make any sense to me.
I think that's a maturity thing in the game. I
And
think that is a, like, you need to understand coming at this how this is going to look, how it's going to work at the NFL level. Everybody in college is, you're the best guy from your hometown, and then you get to college and you're playing with guys who are slightly better than that. Then you get to the NFL and all of those guys are better than that, and he's going to have to learn some things. But you put him on a team like the Minnesota Vikings, as an example.
That was one you said that I hadn't really thought about, because I didn't really think about him getting that deep.
And I think that's where you can really push and get him with a veteran guy and learn the system in there. NFL Draft Buzz has his 40 time projected at 4.35, which is sheesh.
I got news for you. If he runs a 4.35, there's a better chance that the Minnesota Vikings have the chance to draft me.
Yes, sir.
And take it. Than that he gets that far.
He's tall enough. He's a bit on the heavier side, but I think that you'd be remiss to not go Malachi Starks here. It fits with what we're doing. I think that he is not looked at as favorably as he should be. And then I guess it's my go again. We have another, since we're doing this.
We do, but we'll put a pin in that. We have some potential breaking news that I need to dive into.
Okay.
And then we'll come back after this commercial break with your next selection. He's David Smith. I'm Jeremy Green. This is ESPN Radio Asheville. We're the Sportsocracy on 92.9, 880, and 1400. Live from Indianapolis, Indiana, at the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices. Love the savings.
From the moment you walk through the
Clear.
doors at Asheville
I'll queue up the breaking news for you. I've got it on the button bar in here.
front desk to the hygienist to Dr. Merrill herself, they really take extra effort and extra steps to make sure that you are comfortable through your whole experience. And Dr. Merrill has completed more than 1,000 hours of advanced training in cosmetic, laser, and implant dentistry. She really believes in using the most advanced dental technology and education to provide the best dental care in Asheville. To find out more, head on over to AshevilleSmiles.com.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you?
My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress with our selection of comfortable beds, pillows, decor, mood lighting, and so much more? Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time.
Sounds like a dream.
Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
The new iHeart app.
What do I like about it? Real easy to use. I like that.
Love my presets.
If you're not using it, you're missing out.
Go get it!
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get matched to your perfect bed now and sleep at night. Plus, if you see a lower price, they'll match it. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm to upgrade today. Restrictions apply.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa.
Minute and a half, but I can add some more if we need it.
Online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
At Ingles, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with support.
All right, give me a second. Let me kill the rest of these.
First hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at Parks.
All right, I'll do the open, and then when you intro the breaking news, I've got the button over here so I can fire it.
Ain't no truth on the radio station. Somebody owes me an explanation. Well, I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
You just gotta keep living, man. Livin.
All right. 3, 2.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
So apparently at the combine here, we've had the Saints had said they're planning on bringing back their car.
Yep.
I'm going to level with you. And I'm going to say this about, I'm glad this came up. I didn't think this would be the reason this came up today, but I'm glad that it came up. I hear the Matthew Stafford thing.
Yes.
That they're letting Matthew Stafford explore a trade, and if he can find a maybe go to the Giants or the Raiders. I don't believe any of it. I don't believe any team looks at Matthew Stafford unless you're in devout win now mode, which would be one team, and it's maybe the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what you would give because you're still down 3 year year-over-year draft capital there in Rodgers.
Yeah.
The Giants make less than 0 cents. The Raiders make no sense. I don't buy it. I don't buy that the Rams would be interested in Aaron Rodgers. I get that he would be interested in them. That would be like me saying I would be interested in having my birthday party with the Spice Girls. That doesn't mean they're interested in having it with me. I mean, money goes a long way.
It helps.
It works in a minute. So,
it certainly helps.
I mean, hey, you never know. It just doesn't make any sense. If you're the Rams, why would I trade one geriatric quarterback for another? By the way, one geriatric quarterback who was exponentially better than the other one last year. Oh, because he brings Devontae Adams with him? And let me tell you, just you see the logo on my hoodie here? I just went through this. It's not a positive.
Roll the clip of Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers running that one play.
You remember the one highlight? That was awesome. That was fun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy any of these things. This is the lying season.
Oh, yeah.
And I get what Kellen Moore said. Hey, we're looking forward to them competing and blah, 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 blah. I don't buy it.
Sure.
Namely, because I can't figure out how to get on the salary cap with him on the roster.
There's no shot. There's no shot. It's a 2-for-1 for one.
I also feel like I don't want to be robbed of, and I love our Saints fans. We have so many great Saints fans on this channel. There are, and this radio show and all of the different things we do. I don't want to be robbed of the opportunity of 17 games of Spencer Rattlers to go. I tried my damnedest to tell you. And you would not listen. You fought me every step of the way, and I finally threw my hands up and went, this is what you want.
You asked for this.
Like a kid. When you're in the grocery store and your kid goes by the vegetable aisle and they want Brussels sprouts, you don't want Brussels sprouts. But if you keep bugging me, I'm going to give you what you want, and you will eat it.
If you fun around, you will find out.
Yes. And that's where I feel with science. I don't mind it. This rearranging of deck chairs on the Titanic doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Why would I not just go down with the player I know? The Rams, so Which one has the best chance to win 10 games next year?
The Rams.
It's the Rams.
By a mile.
And they're 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, and 9 on that list.
Yes.
Why in the world would the best quarterback push his way out over some money? First of all, Matthew Stafford's made about $11 billion.
He doesn't need money.
Does he want $50 million? Sure. I'm sure he does.
Me too.
That's where I'm going to start my next negotiation with ESPN. I would like my contract to start at $50 million. Okay. That's way too many zeros. So if you take off the last 4, we can talk.
Yeah. I don't see the benefit for Stafford at all. I don't get that even a little bit. And the Saints fell apart, but let's also remember that there was a minute where the Saints were putting up 47.
Well, the start of the season fantastic. You got a new offensive head coach.
Yeah.
You're telling me you're going to roll with Spencer. You're telling me you're going to roll with Derek Carr.
Yep.
Knowing what this leads to, knowing what this leads to the roster, knowing what this is going to lose you in talent. You're not going to start the rebuild. For what reason again?
Start the rebuild. Start the clock.
If everything went right with this Saints roster as it sits, everything went right.
Yep.
I mean, you're flipping a coin and it's landing on heads every single time.
Yes.
How many games does the team win next year?
8.
That was my answer too. I would have accepted anything from 7 to.
I was going to say 9 is probably the max I would go, but I feel like it's 8. I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's just not there.
I would have accepted any answer from 7 to 9.
The window's closed. That window's closed. Rebuild.
I look at them the same way I look at the Browns.
That's why the window's filled.
Why are you trying to rearrange deck chairs on the Titanic?
You can't.
Swallow the frog.
Yeah, you're done. There are a couple of teams that we looked at. We were doing team needs that had negative dollars.
So many. The Saints, the Bills. There's another one that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Too many negative dollars, and you can't. What are you supposed to do with that?
And the Bills had negative dollars and just gave $60 million to Khalil Shakir. Of which, if you had told me he was going to get $60 million, I would have said you were smoking recreational crimes. That feels like a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I don't know. There's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of moving around of depreciated assets, we'll call them right now. Everybody thinks they can. This is that ex-girlfriend that you had to leave for a reason who said, "I can fix you. I'm gonna fix
I'll change for you." No, you won't.
No, you won't.
You were a dumpster fire this morning. You'll be a dumpster fire tomorrow, and you were a dumpster fire yesterday.
There is absolutely no reason for it. There's no change that's gonna happen. You put Derek Carr in there. You put Spencer Rattler in there. Move on. Just move on.
Notorious B.I.G. with I feel like the comment of the day. He said, "I trust Kellen Moore more than anyone in the front office, and he doesn't even know where the bathroom is."
That's totally fair.
I don't disagree with the words you said.
No.
Look, I call this the lying season. This is also could be called boredom season, which is you have a lot of analysts that they need their Twitter mentions and they need their Twitter impressions because that's part of how they get paid, and they need to make mountains out of molehills. I'm not debating that Matthew Stafford wants to be in a $50 million quarterback. I'm not debating that Kellen Moore wants Derek Carr on this team and wants this team to compete. I'm not debating any of those things. I'm looking at reality. And reality tells me there's a better chance of me playing quarterback next year for the Los Angeles Rams than Aaron Rodgers. Because Sean McVay might strangle him.
Could have made state. Could have threw the steak right over this mountain.
Just could have thrown this football over their mountains. It's the lying season. Be careful what you trust. That's how guys wind up with Twitter videos that will live in infamy, talking about how Rob Gronkowski is going to be the piece that really revitalizes the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, everybody in the room that's connected is going, who did you hear that from? Was that? There was a guy in the bathroom and goes, "Did you say that?" Because
it is, once again, free to say whatever you want.
As per my sources, I'm going to say your sources need to be gooder.
My sources were, trust me, bro. And,
we did that shirt.
The trust me, bro shirt is there.
The trust me, bro shirt. Vincent Collier in the YouTube chat said, Ben Johnson's been throwing shots at the Lions all day. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I did notice some hostility between Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson because he said something when Aaron Glenn did his media availability. He said somebody asked him something about being able to bring that Ben Johnson offense to New York, and he snapped of Tanner Morstead's a great offensive coordinator too, and it was almost like he realized what he said, and he started backtracking it. Ben Johnson's a great offensive mind, but you could still see like the vein in his forehead at the very reference of Ben. And they asked him another question about doing this his first combine as a head coach with Ben his first combine as a head coach. And he answered it, but you could very much tell. That's one of those that I think we're going to find more information about as time goes on.
I think that's a guy that was tired of hearing about Ben Johnson with all the work that defense was doing. And then it was like, also Aaron Glenn. Also, maybe also Aaron Glenn was pretty instrumental to that line.
Maybe that's why he was so angry.
Maybe
he wasn't worried about being asked about Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he was just pre-pissed waiting on the question about Ben Johnson.
He did get particularly fired up there.
The vein. AG's a very in-shape guy, and you saw the vein in his forehead, and I went, uh-oh, you should tell your healthcare provider about that, because that's not supposed to happen. I'm Jeremy Green, he's David Smith. We are the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Radio Asheville, 92.9, 880, 1400. We will finish off our daily draft. Defensive players. Dave, players in the top 100. Me, players outside of the top 100. To watch over the next 2 days as we work out here at the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine, and we are here live. Thanks to our friends at Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings.
Clear is your exergen.
Are you doing crimes?
On ESPN Asheville.
What a gorgeous midweek.
Dang it, I had a good one. These two dudes got accused of putting paraphernalia into an air cannon and shooting it over a prison yard.
Warm here. We're at 46 degrees tonight, and that's a good 10 degrees.
Nice.
Tomorrow, 60 degrees with a sprinkle possible in the afternoon. Friday, Sunday.
Louisiana guys, yeah.
I'm meteorologist Scott Laurie. More at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. They're recruiting professional proprietary AI to connect business.
Yeah, I got you all day.
At Robert Half, they know talent.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. In TurboTax.com/guarantees.
All right, yeah, if you just reset it, you're fine now.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling.
Oh, sorry, that's weird. I can hear you fine. I don't.
Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight,
there we go.
Quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
The countdown is on to our iHeart Podcast Awards.
Live at South by Southwest.
Creativity. And passion.
Now you're coming through fine.
Watch March 10th on iHeartRadio's YouTube and Facebook, and listen on iHeartRadio stations across America.
Lenovo is proud to
All right, we're going to come out probably 2:35.
collide with the new Legion Go S, the first licensed handheld powered by SteamOS. Your game goes anywhere. Visit Lenovo.com/Legion Go, empowering creators everywhere.
My name is DeMar Hamlin. I play for the Buffalo Bills, and I play safety. It's American Heart Month. As the national ambassador for Nation of Lifesavers, I'm joining the American Heart Association on its 100th birthday to encourage you to learn CPR, because together we can save lives. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. If the time comes, be ready. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for. Train for. Run wind sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Ain't no truth on the radio station. Somebody owes me an explanation. Well, I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
Just living the dream. I love that. You know what? I will have some meatloaf. Let's have some meatloaf. You want some? Yes. Hey, Mom!
Wait. Sorry. Hang on. Wait.
About 275 pounds, a little bit of positional flexibility. I think that is underrated in this draft, especially pitch draft. Something like a little bit, it's not a little bit, it's like maybe significant. He's not going to be game changing in the sense that somebody every top guys are going to be. It's going to be a game breaker. Every team, I think, put it well enough. I feel like for Murphy's going to be one of those guys that goes in with the position well enough. You're not going to be like he's going to be a much better baseball terminology. I know we love and that
Winston because I feel like Winston's kind of talented and Bones tall. Yeah, the problem is that he's small. Yeah, the problem is that I'm not 100% sure what position he's going to play. Mm-hmm. And I see both of those arguments. And I raise you, and I don't care. This is, I've heard, and I'm trying to think now. Six two. Yep. Which 6'2" is still good. Barring he falls down twice. He is absolutely a beast in coverage. Absolutely a beast in coverage. And I just feel like that's someone that you just have to look at and go, he should be going higher than he is right now. He's not. And then I'm going to wrap up my first official daily draft with someone you mentioned earlier, and that's Elijah Roberts. Why did he not do really much of anything before he got to SMU? Yeah. Well, because mine's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things that, and I'm glad you mentioned him again. I believe that the thing about so Brown. Mm-hmm. He was the number 8 player in that class. Yep. Then he went to USC, and I see the talent. The talent's very obvious. It's just I don't really love how he fit into the offense. I don't know what happened there.
on my list.
So ever. That was one of the first players that I really fell in love with. Rocky McIntosh, that played at Miami back in the really good heyday of Butch Jones. He was an absolute stud for the Jets, special teams wise. He just never figured out what
We've got a couple of guys like that we're going to see in this draft. This class seems to have a lot of those. At 300 at another, and this class that you're going to really love 3 years. Every single one of them is like, well, they play man, they play zone. These guys play zone. These guys play zone. Where's the man? Where are people doing it? Why aren't we backing off a little bit of that coverage and changing it up? Carolina Panthers. And he is a pass rushing stud. He was in my last top 100. I don't think he was top 100. I'll take it. No. Although I should take a mobile sign. This is so tough because I feel like we haven't delved enough into the edge end of things.
Oh, we're about to.
And I feel
Have no
like,
fear.
and
You think
with Swinson, I think that you're going to see a lot more post-work.
starting tomorrow. Then it felt like the and the more it got, the more and Arizona. Because once you get outside of those top 40, top 50 prospects,
yeah.
And I'll give you an example. DJ got to be starting. I saw him. Makes it harder on the coaching staff. It makes it harder on the positional coaches. It makes it harder on ownership. Fans start calling for heads, and you end up down a rabbit hole that you don't want to be in. Nope. Rabbit hole we want to be in. Workouts. They start tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow, noon Eastern Time at ESPN Radio, Asheville 92.9, 880 and 1400 with the Sportsocracy. He's our resident Canadian, David Smith of Armchair Commentary and Great North Sports. And I am at ESPN Draft Nerd, Sportsocracy, NFLDraft.net. Jeremy does a lot of stuff when it comes to February, March, and April. And we do it all right here at ESPN Radio. We will see you tomorrow.
Do you have more than $10,000 in credit?
Clear.
If debt is piling up faster than you can pay, JetBlue is here for you. JetBlue can settle your debts for a fraction of what you owe. Specialize.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to say wait, because I was still, yeah.
Blue, save me.
Lots of money.
JetBlue has an A+ rating with the BBB and
Oh, that's not good. No, it's just the talkback.
reduced or completely resolved. So there is absolutely no risk.
I don't have the words to express how much and how grateful I am for that.
Dang. Yeah, sorry, man. I was just like, wait, because the thing hadn't fired yet. That's what I was trying to say, but apparently it just, it did. Dang. Weird.
The custom